I'm Amber Joy, and this is Jolie, and we're here to show you how to make pan de muertos, which is bread for your ofrenda for Day of the Dead. So you are going to need 3 cups all-purpose flour. You will need 1 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. You're going to need a half a cup of butter, or you can substitute coconut oil, 1/4 cup of milk, and 1/4 cup of warm water. You need a half a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of ground anise seed, and this is what an anise pod, a star anise pod, looks like if you have never seen it. But since the seeds are hard to come by, we're going to use the anise extract. We're going to use 1/4 cup white sugar. These are 2 eggs that were beaten from our chickens, and 2 teaspoons of orange zest, and then another 2 tablespoons of white sugar. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and heat your butter and your milk, and then go ahead and add your warm water and your active dry yeast. And you want to put that together to activate the yeast before you start the bread. Next, in this big bowl, you're going to combine the yeast, flour, salt, anise, and sugar. And then we're going to go ahead and add this part until it makes a nice dough and it's soft. So we're going ahead and stir it until we get a nice smooth dough. Now I'm adding the sugar, and I will add the eggs. I like to double the recipe because my kids love this bread. And so if we don't make extra, some for the ofrenda and some for the babies, then there won't be any for the ofrenda because they will eat it. So then once you get it a nice consistent texture, we're going to go ahead and add the 2 teaspoons of yeast and stir that up. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of flour. So when we're making this bread, we want to be thinking about our ancestors. You want to make it with intention. Just like when I did my hair. So you want to be thinking about an ancestor. And I like to think about my grandma. My grandma loved to tell me, mi abuela, she loved to tell me, oh, come sit right here while I'm cooking. And she would give me a little bit of masa so that I could do it too, so that I can knead the dough too. This is a little bit of orange blossom water.
You can do it.
And it's like when you put it in the dead bread, it's a symbol for the flowers that we would give to our ancestors. Now when you're kneading it, you want to go ahead and stretch it. Now see, if it comes apart like this, it's not ready. You want the gluten to be fully developed so that when you stretch the dough out, you can see through it. That's what makes a good Day of the Dead bread. She was a wonderful grandma. I bet lots of you have wonderful grandparents. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep kneading this for 15 minutes and I'll be back. So in my hands, I have some yummy coconut oil. I have made my bread into a little round loaf, and I'm just oiling my loaf so it doesn't stick to my bowl. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just put it in this little bowl right here, and I'm going to cover it with this toalla. Now see how old this looks? It's because my grandma made it. My grandma, Jolie's bisabuela, she made this. And all the cute little embroidery on here. She was very, very good at handwork, just like everyone here at Mountain Song. So this is just a reminder that when you see people with costumes that have embroidery or beading, or they have hair that's braided and they're from an indigenous culture, don't touch their hair, costumes, or beading, or their embroidery without asking first. Okay? Perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and cover our bread, and we're gonna put it in a warm place, and we like to put it in our oven. We're going to leave it there for an hour, and then we'll be back. Buenas tardes, we're back. It's an hour later, and let's see what happened. Look at our dough. It's gigantic. What we want to do now is we want to take our dough out of the bowl, and we're going to do just a little bit of kneading. to see if we have the gluten. So we're gonna need another probably 15 minutes because it looks like, see when we try to pull it apart, you can't really see through it. See that? It's not ready yet. So we're gonna go ahead and knead. It should be nice and springy and the gluten should be well developed. That's what makes it soft and delicious. So what you want to do is, I usually divide it in half and then again about maybe like a quarter, because the way I like to decorate my little loaves is I like to put crossbones on them, but some people do angelitos, little angels, or they do flores, flowers. What else have I seen? I'm not really sure. So I take a little...
Alebrijes?
Oh, alebrije. Yeah, you could do alebrije. What's alebrije?
It's a spirit guide.
Yeah, a spirit guide. I think alebrijes are one of the coolest parts of Day of the Dead. So here we have our 2 little loaves right here, and we're going to cover them with our toalla, and we're going to put them back in our oven with the light on. The oven's not on, it's just in the oven with the light on, that's all. And we're going to leave it for another hour till they double in size. Now Jolie and my older daughter cracked open one of these anise pods so you could see the anise seeds. See them?
No, we popped it open because we wanted to.
Yeah, and inside they have these little seeds and they smell like black licorice. This is my son Griffin, and he's gonna do the big reveal on what happened to our bread rolls. Dun, dun, dun. Ta-da!
Oh my.
Look how big they got.
Todo de mango.
So now that your pan de muerto has risen, we're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to put it in there for 35 to 45 minutes. So here we go. So in the meantime, we're going to start making the glaze that goes on top of the pan de muerto. We're going to start with with orange juice. So I'm going to cut in half our oranges, and I'm going to juice them.
Mama,
Huh?
why do they make it so fragrant?
Tell me why.
They make it fragrant because it's strong and the dead can smell it.
That's right. Very good. Take our bread out of the oven. Ah. It smells so good. Once you get the bread to this point, you want to go ahead and let it cool down so you can glaze it. So I just cover it with the toalla, and then we come over here to the stove. I turn it on to medium heat.
1/4 of a cup of orange juice. Whoa.
That's a little hot, huh? 1/4 of a cup.
Sugar.
Okay. A little bit for luck, right?
Need. Just do it bad. Just do it bad.
I think you said 3 teaspoons, right?
Yeah. Let's just do it.
So 3 teaspoons, if you're going to count, of the orange zest. And Jolie is going to whisk it together for us. Our 2 minutes is up. And here's our nice orange glaze. What I like to do when I glaze is I like to use a spoon. And that's just, I like to get the orange bits. So I kind of put it like this, and then maybe I give it a good start by kind of drizzling it on top like this and get some good orange bits in there. Sometimes if you use the brush, I really love the orange zest, and I feel like if you just use the brush by itself, you don't get quite enough. Now that that's done, I just take my regular sugar, my sugar jar, And I just sprinkle it over the top like this. It just gives us like a candied bread. Nice and sparkly. So, what do we say in Espanol, amigos? We say disfruta. From our family to yours, have a wonderful Dia de los Muertos.